Welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight of Rhode Island. I'm Kathy Costa, your host for today. We also have Josie Way and Bill Hannon co-hosting with us. And we have a guest we haven't had on for a while. She is a spiritualist minister. It's actually one of my old friends, though. We've known each other for quite some time, since my very early days in doing my work. So we have Myrna Westgate today. She just recently became a minister in the spiritualist religion or view, whichever way you would like to describe it. It's kind of all the same thing. So what got you started in spiritualism?
A voice.
Okay. Okay.
I was always, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I was always interested in the intuitive side of life. And I took a class with a friend of mine who said, oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. And so I took a class. It was a 4-week class, and I said, great, loved it. See you later. I walked out to my car, and this voice said, go back in.
Oh.
So that started my mediumship.
Okay.
And I listened to the voice, and I progressed, took classes, and joined a church in 2013, which is, I think, when I met you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's the first spiritualist church of Brockton.
Yeah.
And became active. I took the Morris Pratt Institute classes, became a certified medium, and I was ordained as a minister last November.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you worked hard.
It was a lot of work, and it is a lot of work to keep a church
Going.
active and going and open, and we're doing some changes. We're not singing the old hymns, and we have some new songs to raise the energy. And before, you were talking about energy too. Everything is energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And intention.
And intention.
Those two things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you play some beautiful songs, it changes. We have a meditation during our service. We have a lecture, and we do spirit messages. Mm-hmm. We have mediums that come in. I serve the church. I also serve in Connecticut, and I did serve in New Hampshire when we had a church up there. So I travel around and serve and do the lecture and the mediumship. And that keeps me pretty busy. I'm also the president of the church, so I do all the paperwork too. Oh. So yay, yippee, and here we go.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But,
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's a very, very inclusive. I mean, you got your hands in so many different aspects of it. You mentioned that's when your mediumship started. How did that progress? I mean,
very slowly, and I will admit to you, I was a reluctant medium. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was not on my list of things to do.
But why? Was there something specific? Is there something that you had in the back of your head that you didn't think you should do it, or what?
Now I'm going to have to use very nice words here. Okay, it wasn't about me and about what I did, but I have to tell you, I'm a very independent person, and I thought people that went to mediums were wimps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all of you out there, I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to listen to people complain.
Yeah. Right.
And I just kept going and going and going, and I gave up.
Yeah.
I gave up and let it go, let my opinions go. And
did you find a shift at that point in time?
Yes.
Yeah, so that
A lot less complaining.
Well, it was part of my own personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like it was a life lesson.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, because I was a do it or die, you know? What's gone is gone. You don't think about it. And you begin to realize, you know, you carry this with you. You carry your whole life with you, you know, from the womb to right now.
Even before.
And before. And before, and before.
Right, right.
And I was always a searcher for, I'm going to say, God. And I went through many religions. And spiritualism was a step better than Buddhism, because I was doing Buddhism for several years. But spiritualism keeps the responsibility on self.
Yeah.
It, you know, it doesn't drive you, but it urges you to keep looking within for that God, for that spark of the divine, to look within and better yourself. And I always knew, I don't know, I think I was 5 years old, and I always knew there was life after death. I don't know why. You know, death never scared me. You know, there is a loss, and we experience that. You know, we lose the physical, but you know, when I walk into a sanctuary or a church building, wherever it is, I just feel surrounded.
Yeah. Love never dies.
Love never dies. No, no. Love never dies. And so that's...
True religion is
So,
love.
yeah, it is.
Right.
It is.
Well, again, you know, we're using the word religion, and a lot of people have the connotation of rules and regulations.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
And a spiritual church is basically somebody who's trying to guide you into
Yeah.
having a dialogue between yourself and Source.
Yeah, it's among the few that doesn't have a dogma or a creed.
Right.
That's a lot of people get stuck
Right.
on, though. It's like most
Right.
religions have the dogma and the
Sure,
creed that
sure.
you have to abide by.
Sure.
So,
You know, one of the beliefs is we believe in spiritual healing, energy healing, and mediumship, obviously. You know, and that brings in a whole host of other modalities and ways of thinking. You know, we can incorporate Buddhism into my beliefs
Right.
in spiritualism,
Right, right.
or Christianity, or anything else.
Judaism.
Judaism.
That's where I started.
Yeah.
Whatever you resonate to is
Yeah. Right.
going to have less resistance because you know there's some truth
Right.
to
The
that.
only thing we've eliminated is the white male in the beard and the white robe.
yeah.
Well, we still got ways to go with that.
Yes, we do. We're still working on it.
Right.
But you know, it's a fabulous religion.
Right.
You know, it offers, you know, people who don't trust their own intuition and ability to communicate. It offers them a place to go and listen to a brief greeting from their loved one. And I find it's funny with the services, I find it is orchestrated by a band of spirit inspirers and guides, because you have 3 or 4 different people who are
Sure.
working, and it overlaps.
Sure.
It overlaps.
Sure.
You know, I will say something, and then I was just going to say that, and it goes. It's amazing. It's a wonderful
Well,
experience.
that's because you're all on the same frequency at that point in time.
Yes, yes.
And that's why you can accept it as truth. And the thing is, when you have an experience and you have an emotional reaction to it, you know that that is truth.
It is. It is.
It's not
Yes.
something you can make up.
And it sticks with you
Yes, it does.
when it touches your heart.
Yes, it does. You know, I think it changes us on a subatomic level.
Well,
You know, everything.
one of the things spiritualists taught is we are loved, which all religions try to teach. And we're not alone.
That's the big one, that we are not alone. 'Cause a lot of times we forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as human beings, so.
Which
Yeah.
takes where I went beyond mediumship to working with angels and spirits, you know, ascended masters, because we're not alone.
Yeah.
We have a lot of help.
We do. We do, and we need it.
Yes,
Yeah, we most certainly do.
we do.
Yeah, we do.
We do need it. It's simple,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, you know, there is so much available to us in the spirit world if we take the time to sit and meditate. And I know a lot of people are intimidated by that word. And it's really, you know, if it's going out and digging carrots in your yard, that's meditation.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You know-
getting away from.
You know when many people meditate? Washing the dishes and taking a shower.
Yeah, because
I used to get a lot of messages in the shower.
Yeah. Walking for me. Walking.
Yes.
Is big. I just.
Walking in
I can
nature.
You feel yourself getting bigger. You know, it's an energy thing. It's like you're just feeling.
Come from
yourself
another short person, I can appreciate that.
Me too.
It's all energy up here, folks.
Yeah.
No, really, it's, you know, and it's exciting. You know, I think if you have that moment, if you haven't had that moment, that one
Aha moment, yeah.
you know, then find it, because that's going to lead you to the next and to the next and to the next.
Yeah.
And if it's not leading you into a life of service of some kind, then you had the wrong moment. Because two things I believe, you know, we will go on and on forever, many times over, and the reason we're here is to be of service. And that's service to creation. And what is creation? Born out of love.
Yeah. So let's talk about Morris Pratt for a little bit.
Morris Pratt.
Yeah. So what is that though? How did you get started with that?
Morris Pratt is an auxiliary of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches.
Okay.
And it is a group of accomplished individuals who developed a program, and there are 30 lessons.
Okay.
If you are really gung-ho and fast on your feet, you can do that in about 3 years. If you're a mature individual, it might take you a little bit longer. It goes through, you know, all of the phenomena that is included in spiritualism, because spiritualism is a religion, a science, and a philosophy. I'm more a philosophy person, you know, because I have that thing about that word religion. But, you know, the religion part is my church, the community, the people who sit in the seats, the people who I meet and interact with. And, you know, the philosophy is about understanding natural law. You know, and how does the world work? You know, why do these things keep happening to me? You know, can I look at that? Is there a law out there? And, you know, bringing that into your life and lifting you up to wherever your spirit guides send you.
Yes.
That's a big,
We think we're in control, but we're really not.
no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Well, we can say yes or no, but if we are smart, if we are in tune, we will say yes.
Well, you're in a situation where, you know, you don't really choose. The path is chosen for you. Because that's probably one of the reasons why you're here,
Right.
is to work on whatever that is, and eventually it becomes easier and it flows easier. And
Yes.
Cooperating.
Yeah, and isn't it nice? We can fix all of our mistakes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though too though. It's like part of what you were alluding to though is the contract that we make. You know, it's like we choose this path, but we just don't remember when we're born. We forget it. You know, and it's part of the human side though. It's like it's just that way by design.
Yes.
So so it's just we're not meant to remember though. That's why like spirit guides us. So it's like okay, it's just kind of like a remembering.
Well, if we remembered,
we may not do it. Yeah.
yeah, it just wouldn't be the same.
No, it wouldn't.
Here we get
Yeah.
and it sticks.
Yeah.
Yes, if we remembered, let's say we went this far in our journey in the last life. We'll pick mediumship, okay? My last life, I went this far in my journey. And I wake up in this life, and I say, oh, I'm a medium. And okay, fine. I've already got it in my head that this is how far I'm going. And if I don't know, perhaps I'm going to go that far. And perhaps I'm going to do, different things for the world, for what's going on at that point in time.
So is this whole intertwined in how you felt guided to become a reverend, a minister?
Yeah, how long was it before you figured out that you wanted to do it?
I'm going to write a book. The Reluctant Medium, The Reluctant Reverend.
Yeah.
It was never a decision I made. It was, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm learning, this is where I'm going, this is where and then I was there.
Suddenly you were there.
And then I was there. Yeah, yeah. Because it felt right.
Yeah. It was like there was no like major stumbles to get you there though.
No.
There was nothing of like fighting like no brick walls or anything. You just kind of went there.
Excuse me. No, this whole journey has been, when I looked back at it, when I looked back over a few years and how I got to a certain point, I was sitting just thinking all the things I had done that didn't make sense. And I began to laugh hysterically because I knew every one of them. All the things that didn't match up, it wasn't a piece of the puzzle as far as I was concerned, but got me
it
there.
made sense after, yeah.
Yeah, it got me there.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people, hindsight is always 20/20. It always is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like it just while you're going through it, it seems like just this endless, like you're just kind of like flapping your wings in the air and like kind of helplessly. But yet, though, as you find your way, though, it's like, oh, this makes sense. Now I have to learn that, learn this thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what got me there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think life on this planet is.
We seem to, as humans, have this one weakness of thinking if we only do certain things, we'll take the short road, the shortcut. And we'll get there faster and easier. Especially with culture and society, everything is bigger, better, faster,
Yes.
or smaller, better,
Yeah.
faster.
Yes. Yes. And that is not, that's not the reality of
No.
the existence,
No.
this human existence that we're living. Yeah, I really think. See, I'm excited about what's beyond.
What's right in front of us, yeah.
Give me a peek at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we.
So just enough to make sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from Buddhism, I am thoroughly convinced that what's in front of my eyes is an illusion, and it's me interpreting what reality is.
Yeah, what we believe is our
It's
reality,
all
even if it is not
perception.
reality.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, perception and
Intention
intention.
and magnetism, don't forget that.
Yes.
How
Good,
we
bad, or
attract,
indifferent, yeah.
how
Good,
we
bad, or
attract
indifferent.
Yeah.
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, whether you hit two
That we
south
need.
poles and.
Yeah.
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 No, it's true. It's true. We have, there's so much more. I am fascinated by consciousness. And, how did you get here? How did I get here? what stopped me from doing this 30 years ago? Maybe it was because I was a banker and I only believed in numbers, you know. And why did I pick banking?
Did you ever try numerology?
No.
Oh, you would find numbers are a beautiful thing.
No. I had to cut my numbers off.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I had to leave them aside.
They're full of spirit.
They are, absolutely, but
Yeah. Angel numbers, the repeating patterns.
yeah. Oh, I read those because lately, for the past week, everywhere I look, I see 333, 333, 333.
That's the Ascended
That's
Masters.
the
all around.
Ascended Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a while, I know that there are Ascended Masters. I have,
Well, Buddha is one of them.
yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So you're familiar with one.
One of my friends is Saint Germain.
Oh, wow.
I worked with him for a while.
I
The
believe he's the
violet
one.
flame?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one though that was Joseph in a life before that one, right? If I'm mistaken about the same one?
They give him many different stories.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
quite a few stories
He
about
is
him.
Yeah.
very,
Even into history itself,
Yeah.
yeah.
going through the European history,
Yeah.
Yeah.
some of the moving forces behind
Yeah, I have to
women.
read up on that again though, so we can get my
Yeah.
story straight on that. What I find fascinating about the Ascended Masters is that it doesn't matter what your family belief system is or what your current belief system is though. They choose who they want to talk to. Because I've spoken to pagans though that when Mother Mary's come to them. You know, I mean Jesus and his mother though, like, you know, they work with me a lot. But I thought it was because my family's Catholic, but that's not necessarily true. No. I've learned that though. It's like the people that I've come across were like atheists though. You know, even spiritualists though, they didn't have the Catholic upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, it's like, oh, she's come to me too though. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, she'll let you know how, you know. It's like, yeah, so I found that fascinating. It was like it doesn't matter how what you grew up with.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I find the most
I'm a
fascinating.
big fan of Mary.
Oh, I love working with her.
Yeah.
She pops in a lot though with me. Her and Mother Teresa.
And
Yeah.
who's come in with me most recently is Mary Magdalene. And she helps people who need to find their voice.
That makes sense with how
It does.
what the
It
tradition is
does.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my, I should be talking spiritualism, but one of my,
That all falls under that though.
I don't know if you've heard of Gordon Higginson. He is an English medium. He died in 1997.
Okay.
And I started reading about him through my studies with Morris Pratt, and started reading about him, and I idolized him. You know, this man would stand up and say, "Okay, I've got a fellow who died of a heart attack. He was 5'6". His name was Sam. He lived on South Street. The number of the house was 599. So I work with him. He
Yeah.
comes in. He comes in when I do the mediumship.
That's interesting.
And he was a marvelous speaker and a great believer in spiritualism. And also, he had a heavy Christian influence. I'm more eclectic in my influences of, you know, kind of did the banana split of religions and tried a little bit of everything. And I think there's truth in everything.
You
and
didn't
wisdom.
throw out the bathwater with the baby.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Keep that water.
Yes, yes.
So, what do you find the most rewarding as becoming and being a spiritualist minister?
Let's see. Being there for people.
Okay.
Being there for people. You know, after service, you know, the people come up. The people who have questions, and the people who have doubts, and the people that are, you know, looking for a little direction. All those people I tried to avoid all those years ago, and I love them. And I love them, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting how that happens though. It's like almost like a 360.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't recognize myself anymore.
Yeah.
But I
isn't that
like who I
something?
am,
Yeah.
and that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, at least now you have the knowledge to help these people to finding their path.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I have resources. I have a lot of knowledge behind me, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I am happy with who I am now, which is, I think, everybody's goal.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, this was interesting. My lectures are produced beside me, and so I'm not always sure what I'm going to talk about. But I also do meditations, and they're also, tell me what to say. And I did a meditation, and I had, it was the usual thing. You do the relaxation, you calm them down, and you send them on a path. And I sent them on a wooden forest path. And I had, all of a sudden it popped in my head, I had them meet themselves. Someone's coming towards you,
right.
coming closer and closer. And as they came closer, I had them forgive themselves. And I was, watching everybody out there. And I think that's the best thing I've done in 6 months, because I saw these people start to cry, start to relax, and and I think that was fabulous.
Well, some people, a lot of people are just so hard on themselves.
Yes.
And some of the people, as they're on their deathbed, aren't regretting what they did do.
Yeah.
They're regretting what they didn't do, what they didn't say.
Yeah, so right.
And you just got to forgive yourself for that, because that's part of your path.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So we're actually almost at the end of the show. If somebody has a question about the church that you're associated with, or wanted to contact you directly, what's your phone number and email?
Okay.
Or
Yes.
phone number?
Right now. My phone number is 774-826-9572. And the church has a Facebook page. It's the First Spiritualist Church of Brockton. We also have a website, which is firstspiritualistchurch.com. And you can find me on Facebook too.
Okay.
Myrna Westgate.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
There's different ways, though, about everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are interested, give us a call.
For a touch of wisdom, to add to what you were saying, one of the things we discover as we go on with spiritualism and with our lives is that we regret most those things that we have not done in expressing love to others.
Yes.
When we lose someone, we mourn from not being able to give love.
Yes. Yes. But that path is always open, the path to forgiveness and to reignite your love and your feelings for someone, because they are there. They are listening.
And redemption's always there, too. You just got to want it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you also, I think, also a part of it is you need to believe that you're worth it, that you deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's very hard for some people.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think, a lot of people go through their life feeling inadequate. Because we're so, as a culture, we meet people and we say, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Instead of hi,
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about accomplishment
It is,
and achievements.
yeah, and it should be about people.
Yeah, we forget that personal touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that spiritualism definitely helps with that, though. Bringing it all together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's a non-judgmental